Feel the magic under Keely's light. Hook in hand, we're gonna start today. Hook in love will show the way.
So today's tutorial is for a granny cluster stitch, and this is the look that we're going for. We've used 2 different yarns to equate this look, but there are many ways to do it, so follow along and I hope you enjoy it. So we are going to start making our granny cluster sample, and for this I am going to be using a 5.5mm hook I've gone for, and an Aran weight yarn, and we're going to start with making a slip knot and then make a chain of 30. It can be any even number of chains, but I thought 30 was a good one to demonstrate it. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's my 30 chains. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work along this chain first of all, and we're going to be making a moss stitch. So the granny clusters are worked up with a moss stitch followed by a row of 3 double crochets that are crocheted together, and that's what makes the granny cluster. So we're going to miss the first stitch and we're going to go into the second one and make a single crochet. And then we're going to make a single crochet into the next stitch. Then we're going to chain 1. We're going to miss 1 and make a single crochet in the next. And then chain 1, miss 1 and make a stitch in the next. And if you don't know, this is the moss stitch. So there is a tutorial for the moss stitch. But if you weren't aware that this is what the moss stitch is. So I chain 1, followed by skip 1 and single crochet in the next. So I'm going to do that all the way along. Now I'm keeping these fairly loose in parts so that you can see them. Of course, you're going to use whichever hook size and yarn you prefer, because you can do this in any weight. As we come into the end, finishing the last chain 1 single crochet of the moss stitch, and then I'm going to make a single crochet in the last chain. Now you can continue in using the same colour, or you can change colour. I've decided I'm going to change my colour to a variegated one, although it's not, there's long lines before variegation occurs. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change the colour within the stitch. I don't know if you've done that before, but you can take, instead of completing that last stitch, you can either take it back and work it, or you can put your hook through the stitch like that, pull that out and finish it off then with the new colour. Like so. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll pull that tight. And then we're going to turn and we're going to work our way along the stitch. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make our double crochet, so these 3 cluster stitches, 3 double crochet cluster stitches in the spaces. So we're going to chain 4 and we're going to make our first incomplete double crochet in this first chain space. So what we do is we go to start with our double crochet and we just complete the first draw through. So we keep the last 2 chains on the hook. And then we go to make a second double crochet, so yarn over into the loop, into the space, pull through, yarn over and through 2, which leaves us with 3, and then we're going to make our third and final one. So we're going to yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and then we have all 3. So hopefully you can see now you've got 1, 2, 3 clusters there. So we're going to pull through all 3 of those, and then we're going to chain 1. And we're going to complete that same stitch in every one of those chain spaces as we go along. So yarn over into the chain space, pull your yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2, and leave the rest of the double crochet on your hook. Yarn over, back into the same space, pull through, yarn over, and again through the first 2, and you're leaving now 2 partial double crochets on your hook. Then yarn over and complete the third one by yarning through the 2, and then we've got 3 on the hook, well, 3 stitches and 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through to all of them, and chain 1. We're going to complete that all the way along. So I am coming to my last one, so I'm just going to finish my cluster here, chain 1, and then I'm going to place a double crochet in the last stitch. So the last one is there. Okay, I'm going to change colour again, so I'm just going to grab the solid pink. Pull that through. I'm going to chain 1 and turn. Just going to trim that off. Okay. Now, so I've chained 1. Oh, more fingers and thumbs. And turned. All right. So I am going to single crochet in the top of that double, and then single crochet in the chain space. Okay, and then I am chaining 1 over the top of the cluster below, and then single crochet in between the 2. So then chain 1 over the top of the cluster and single crochet between the 2, chain 1 and single crochet, and we're going to do that all the way along. And coming to the end where we've got that chain 4, so we're going to single crochet into the section underneath the chain 4, if you will, and then you are going to single crochet even into the actual chain. Okay, and again I'm going to change colour as we do our next row, so we'll do another row together. Right, so I'm changed colours and we're chaining 4. And then I'm going to turn the work. Okay. And then again, what we're going to do is we're going to place our clusters in the chain spaces. So you can see we've got single crochet here, single crochet here, and the cluster is going to go directly into this chain space, which is directly above the last cluster. So, and you're going to do exactly the same thing. So we're going to go through that, pull, loop up, and draw through 2. So we've got part of a double crochet left on the hook. And again through 2, so we've got 2 left, and then we've got our third one done. Pull through all 4 on the loop and chain 1, and we're going to continue that again all the way down. So you can see you could easily make a blanket quite quickly really as well. It does work up quite quickly, and you don't have to change colours as I've been doing. You could use the same colour. I mean, these are lovely to make, you know, sort of like a rainbow blanket, or one where you are changing colours fairly frequently, because it lends itself to doing that. I do like the contrast between the moss stitch and then the granny cluster. I think that looks really effective. You can see it would be just as easy to do this as a blanket or a scarf. So hopefully you can see doing the clusters followed by a chain 1 and then back through. I suppose the only downside of keep changing the colours is all the weaving in, because you're going across and then changing colours. You're never in a position where you can carry your colour up, unless you do 2 rows, I suppose, and then carry your colour up. But like I said, I quite like that each row is different. And I think this would be nice, you know, in like dark and light colours. So either the dark colour as the moss stitch, or the opposite way round. So let's finish this and come to the end again. Okay, our last chain 1, and then we are double crocheting into the last single crochet. And we're going to complete and repeat that as many times as you want in order to get the look that you're going for. Now here we are then, and I have completed a row of 4 clusters using the granny cluster stitch. So once you've completed your foundation row, you are going to then complete round 2 and 3 and just keep repeating that until you have exactly what you want. I would personally finish off with single crochet all around the edge to neaten it all up and finish it off. But there are a number of different projects that you could use this stitch with. So hopefully that has got you switched on to using the granny cluster stitch.